Okay, the intro's over. Time to grab
Two
your drink
voices
and
at
sit down.
once. No, your eyes do not deceive you. I know it's what you're thinking. I'm going to turn a little something there for my guy. Your eyes do not deceive you. It is my big, fat, natural, white-ass, dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert broadcasting you from the KGXT studios 200 feet below occupied California. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is The World Show. I would raise a glass. I feel like raising a glass, but I can't raise a glass. It's not drinking time. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, Los Angeles time. That's where I am. I'm not sure where you are, but it's completely different time where you are. Yeah, unless you're in the same time zone as me, and then we're all on the same page. It's waking up early and saying stuff. Yeah, we're back. Hola. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Dónde está, amigos? So, a little bit of a twist, but I want to say something first. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, and no, by elephant in the room, I don't mean the big fat white guy. No. You guys know that I kind of walked off set the other day. I was pretty upset. People know that. People know that it's been 5 days and I skipped a couple shows and I was just like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. All right. Now, there's a problem with confession. All right. Now, I want you to think about this. I'm going to do real quick. We'll get on to the World Show, but there's a lot of you that personally want to know where things were, what was going on. Some of you know quite a bit of the story. A handful, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 that were on staff here know the exact details of the story. But let me explain why confession can be bad. Confession's good for the soul. Confession's good to get everything out in the open, but confession can be bad for the institutions. You know, sometimes the institution of marriage is like, well, we got to know the truth before the marriage can go forward. You know what? There's some shit I don't want to know. There's some shit you kind of just keep that shit to yourself, and I'm going to live in the matrix and keep going that way. It's also the same for businesses, for social media platforms, for brands. Sometimes, you know, you do some shit and you say some shit and some shit happens, and it would be better for me just to go, everything's fine, mind your own fucking business, we're getting on with the show. Wouldn't that be better? Then we go back and everyone's like, well, he really didn't say what's going on, but whatever it is, it's fixed, and that's it. However, there's some people that get out there and spill their guts, and they say things like, well, my wife cheated on me with my brother and ran off with my uncle, and then she burned down my house. I mean, there's so much drama. Well, if things like that were true, and that caused a person to have a problem, what good is it for me to tell? Now, none of that stuff happened, of course. I'm making all of that up completely, but if I were to tell you that my wife cheated on me with my brother and ran away with my uncle, and then my son burned my house down, but everything's forgiven and we're all back on track, you guys would look at my wife and my son going, what a bunch of assholes. From that point on, you may never like my wife and my son again. If you wouldn't. Truthful or not, it would taint the way. So now, thank God, nothing like that has even come close to happening in my life. Nothing like that at all. But there was some frustrations that had built up over years with me and the family. This is a family program. It's a family show. It's my wife, it's my son, and it's staff who we think of as family. We're tight. We're close. It is very much a family affair. So when I tell you some things, you're like, well, this happened and that happened. No matter what I say, if I make it mild, if I make it light, like, well, you know, she put the peanut butter on the wrong side of the bread and I just couldn't stand it anymore, and so I'm done. You guys would go, well, that's stupid. That wasn't enough to throw the world into a tailspin, you idiot. You'd be mad at me. So I make it a little more truthful and I expose a little more. I say, well, my wife put rat poison in my peanut butter sandwich. Well, now you're okay with me getting mad about that, but now you don't like her. There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground when we have a problem. There's no way to come out of this and look okay. There's not even if I convince you that everything's going to be fine and I convince you that my reasons were justified, and I would tell you, every one of you would buy me a beer and a pat on the back and go, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, let's just say it's one of those. The fact that I couldn't get my family life together and my head together and we missed a couple shows damages the brand no matter what you do. And that's on me. And I'm sorry. But like we always tell staff, it's family first. We always tell our friends, it's family first. I don't care what you got to do. I had a shop for years and I had guys that work in the garage with me. Take time off work, family first. That's all it is. It was family first. Now, self-imposed. I didn't put it up to a vote. I didn't say, well, whole wide world, what do you think? No, just fucking took matters into my own hands. And I will tell you, ultimately, this whole thing is my fault. Because despite the issues that I had to take things to a grinding halt, I had to pull the plug on the whole fucking world and sit my family down and go, things are fucked up. We're going to fix this now. We're not continuing like this anymore. The fact that it got to that point is my fault. There's only one head of the household. My wife has said very clearly when she gets to heaven and God says, why did all this stuff occur? She has no problem pointing to me and going, you put him in charge. I did everything, but you talk to that guy. She's right. In our family and our structure and how we live with our beliefs, it ultimately does come down on me. And I take responsibility for letting things get to a point where I was just fucking losing my goddamn mind. And I had to walk off the show about 20 minutes into the show. It's my fault. I shouldn't have let it get that far, but I did. And not 2 weeks. We're talking years. Years, because I could take a lot of shit. You ever seen Atlas? You know who Atlas is? He's that dude who stands there naked with all the muscles and holds the world on his shoulders. Well, imagine an overweight, bearded mechanic doing that same thing. That's me. That's every guy out there. That's every dad out there. Every guy in the family has that same burden. I just let mine get a little too heavy, and I fucking set it down for a minute and said, I'm not fucking picking this thing back up again. Atlas, that's right. Atlas set down the world and said, not picking that up again unless we get some shit straight. So we got some shit straight. And now I'm back, and things are better. They're on the right track. Now, I've been on this planet for 55 years. That's 55 trips around the sun. And I will tell you that when I've looked at relationships of my own, looked at relationships, hundreds of others around me, I'm a pretty good judge of what's going to stick and what's not. I'm a pretty good judge of traction, what's going to take hold and go. This one is. This one is. I think some things that got corrected should have been corrected a long time ago, but I wholeheartedly believe 100% things are back on track now. All right, so with that being said, I've wasted 9 minutes of the program letting you know what happened, more or less, and that we got here. Do the details really matter? No. If you want details like that, go read the National Enquirer, because I'm not talking about the specifics. Those don't matter. What matters is that I let this happen. It was my fault. I snapped everything out of circuit. We all talked, got things back in line. All right, I put the world back on my shoulders, and away we go. I hope that's good enough for you. If it's not, I don't know what to tell you, but I did owe you at least that much. So, for those of you who are out there, the viewers, the audience, the listeners, the followers, I do apologize for missing a few shows. I did take about 4 days to sort stuff out, which I got to tell you, for me, having my personal life being all fucked up, 4 days to get things back on track, that's a personal record. I'm letting you guys know that's a personal best. Normally I'm defunct and out of sorts for weeks, if not months. This was great. Yeah, this was old person cutting to the chase, not dicking around, getting it done, and we're back on track in 4 days. Oh, the wisdom you gain when you keep traveling around the sun. It's amazing. All right. So what I do want to bring up something here, and it's a little bit different show. Yeah, you guys can see Gen X Mom's name in there. She's doing some stuff over where she's at. And guess what, though? Here we have the kid who's Dude, you're on camera.
Am I actually?
Yeah, you're on camera.
I didn't know you started.
I started. I've been talking for like 10 minutes.
I thought you were rehearsing. I thought you were just doing whatever.
I'm not rehearsing.
You talk to yourself all day. You know that, right? God.
Okay, do you know where we are?
The studio?
This is the World Show. We're talking about world stuff. Now,
I don't do world shows anymore.
I know.
It's too early in the morning. I can't.
It's 10 o'clock.
It's okay. Like 10 o'clock is not early in the morning, but the fact that I got to get up, do some show prep, and it's like political stuff, man. It's like a new brand.
It's important, man. This is the stuff
I know it's important. That's why I'm here.
You should be thirsting at the tree of knowledge today.
Look, I don't hate British people.
What do British people have to do with the World Show?
I don't specifically like French people.
Okay, again,
Wait, it's the World Show.
What about the World Show?
Well, it's people from around the world. A lot of Europe.
Yeah, but you just picked like Britain and France. He's like,
I'd say
I
that's
don't mind
probably our
British
biggest-
people, but I don't like French people.
I'd say it goes like United States, Canada, Britain, Australia,
Okay,
France.
what are we measuring?
Of like the amount of fans that we have, like breakup of fans.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I understand a little bit. Now, who didn't turn off their phone today?
You.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you, man. Not turning off your phone. I'm getting the doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, you're getting the notice here, and it's my fault. All right.
Yeah. Anyways, like I'm saying, it goes America, Canada.
For fans of the Gen X Talk
Yeah,
show.
it's like
All right.
for it number one, United States, then Canada, then probably Britain, then Australia, then France. You might be thinking, why'd you skip Australia? Because I don't talk about Australia. We keep that.
Okay, but do you realize it's a world show? It's not just what's going on with them. Sometimes we have to tell them what's going on in our country.
Oh, yeah.
In that case, there is no order. Everybody just listens. What if there's one guy in South Africa and he really wants to hear some stuff going on here? You didn't list his name. You didn't list his country.
I learned that South Africa has 13 official languages, and I learned that on a world show.
Now, do you see that the world show can improve your education?
Yeah.
All right, so let me just ask you, since you're half awake in here, what do you think? And this is stuff that I did go back through my emails, ladies and gentlemen, and there was a lot of stuff being written to me about what's going on with this, what's going on with that. All right, I don't have time to get into it all. There's not a ton of stuff that was specifically being asked or things that I was thinking about going on around the world. I'm not talking about the war in Ukraine very much, even though that's a big topic that will tie in a little bit with that. But what do you know about Dr. Fauci and the COVID virus that was going around the last couple of years? What, from your Generation Z perspective and your kid, describe it. What happened?
Well, it sucked. That's the overview.
Wow, it sucked. And there you have it from an intellectual, ladies and gentlemen.
Dr. Fauci, I don't know much about the guy. I don't even know what he looks like, in my opinion. Or not even in my opinion.
Your opinion is you don't know what he looks like. You know what? You turn into a dumb bag of hammers, just like your mother when she sits there.
Yeah. No. It's whenever it's early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet.
Okay.
That's an inside
Describe,
joke. Okay. The
coronavirus.
the COVID pandemic was a virus that was coming around that originated in China that we know of.
Yeah.
And it shut down pretty much all of the world. We went into lockdowns to stop the spread, even though I think a ton of people still got infected.
Right.
And it locked out school, and I had to stay at home all day, every day. And it was really annoying. That's my Gen Z perspective.
You did.
I don't know how it affected, like, the average American taxpayer, because I'm not him.
No, but
So
the lockdown thing. Okay, so how did the country get locked down? Who said to do it? Who flipped the switch and said everybody stay home?
Wasn't it Trump who did that?
Well, Trump in the beginning was trying to close the borders and close airline flights from China and other places. But no, he didn't. He wasn't the one who said lock everything down, shut everybody up.
Who said that?
Who do you think would have that sort of power in a pandemic? What type of person? Not a political leader. What would Trump know? Or even Biden? What would Biden know?
It'd be like top medical guy,
Top medical guy. So that brings us to Fauci. And I'm going to put it on the screen just in case you don't know who Fauci is, since you said you can't remember. We'll touch on that a little bit right here. That's Fauci. That is Dr. Fauci. You see that picture right there?
Yeah.
What that guy is he had some credentials. He ended up being on the board, the COVID board in the White House, relating to the White House, and ended up being the #1 guy, kind of like the spokesman of all the doctors. Here's what we're going to collectively say. Then he goes and briefs the president. Now, the reason that's important is you look at where he's been in life, and he was the 5th director of the Institute for Allergy and Infectious Diseases. So in the entire country, he was a top guy in infectious diseases. All right. He gets on the board of the White House. He becomes the spokesperson to Trump. Trump kind of puts him out front. He's like, well, don't, and you got to picture how this goes. You say, you tell the Fauci comes to Trump and says, here's all the stuff going on. And Trump says, well, never mind. You just tell him. I'll mess it up. So now this guy Fauci gets out there. He's got some credentials. He's got some backing. And he begins talking about the virus. From that point on, whatever he says kind of goes. It was weird. I had never experienced anything like that in my life. Now, let's back up a second. There was, what was the name of it? I wrote that name down. It was a really weird name for an article. The proximal origin of COVID-19. And this paper was written by 6 really smart scientists in this field. Now think about this. I'm going to blow through this really quick because the point I want to get to about this is really weird. 6 scientists go through and they write this paper, and Fauci comes in and says, okay, give me this paper. I'm going to take it over. And they say, look, 70% of this we feel is a lab leak. There's a small chance it could be animal related. But the more we investigate, now it's 75%. Now it's 80% lab leak. And Fauci, now we've gotten his text messages, now we've gotten his emails. We found out that he told them, yeah, you're just going to have to get that out of your head, the lab leak thing. You got the other 30% that it could be from animal. Let's go with that. You're going to have to get past this. He told him that. Now we know. So they said, all right. So they wrote the letter. They wrote the report. And this, the proximal origin of SARS, not what they wanted it to say. They were leaning heavily the other way. But the problem is you can't write a scientific report that says, well, 70% chance lab leak, 30% chance animal. You give that to the president of the United States. He's like, well, this doesn't answer it. Which is it? I got to have something to say here. You have to come up with a definite direction.
Yes.
So Fauci tells them that and says, this is what I want you to say. You're already saying it, lean this way. Yeah, but we're leaning that way. Now I want you to lean this way, get over it. So they do. He takes this report. Now this is the part that's funny. He takes this report that he has now helped craft. And he walks up to the president. He walks up to the CIA, the FBI, and goes, look, these are scientists that are super smart. I can't believe what I'm reading here. That this is the report. This is what it says. It's all factual. It's all been researched. I'm not even on the report. My name's not even there. This is an independent team. We got to go with this. And so everybody does. Mm-hmm. Not knowing that the thing he drafted, that he helped create, was what he was holding up as this flag of truth. So then he basically gets out there, and the more Trump puts him out there, and then the more Biden puts him out there, he starts calling the shots. Everybody wear a mask. Next week, everybody 6 feet apart. Next week, all right, you can't be in buildings.
He's playing Simon Says.
Next week, yeah, Simon says 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
Simon says mask. Then it's no buildings. Then it's no outside. Then don't drive in your car. Then don't breathe. Everything he said, everybody followed, and everybody did. I don't think anybody would have followed the president, any president, or a congressman if they had said that. In my country, letting you guys know, in the United States, this is how, now that we got all the pieces of the puzzle and we can look back, I'm just showing you, and I'm getting to my point, and it's weird. All right? He does all these things. We go along with all these things. Shut down the school, shut down the kids. And then they start to unravel it. Like, all right, masks aren't helping. The shots and boosters aren't doing what you said. They don't prevent. They don't protect. It's not what you said. 6 feet apart isn't doing shit. The glass barrier. We start to unravel the whole thing until America's just pissed and like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. And Fauci eventually goes away. But think about what I'm trying to tell you here. Think about this for just a minute. For a certain amount of time, this guy, Fauci, was kind of what I would call a de facto dictator. He wasn't elected, you can't call him president. He didn't have any heritage in his blood. He wasn't a king. But for a short time, this guy was given control over everything we did, everything we said, what we could do, what we couldn't do, what shots we had to have, what shots we couldn't take. I mean, you look back on it now, and we gave that single guy, an unelected, one person, one individual, this wasn't even a committee. We gave him the power over all of us. Now, we dismantled it and took it away, and he there's a lot of stuff he didn't do and he couldn't do. Of course, he's in the medical side. However, did he not just lay out, maybe not even on purpose, did he not just lay out a blueprint for the next guy, for the next pandemic, for the next dictator? Some dude, now think about it. They're like, I guarantee you on politics, Republicans or Democrats, the next time some pandemic comes along and they know, oh, a pandemic's coming along, okay, we got to get our doctor out here to run the show. They're going to make sure that this doctor is a politician. He's not going to be just a doctor. He's going to be somebody who can politically maneuver tons of things. They didn't know that last time. Trump and the Republicans didn't know in the beginning. Biden and his guys didn't know in the beginning, but now they do. It's weird to think that we had a guy out there who did so much and made so many choices and did so many things and had so much power, and he wasn't even elected. And even the president, both presidents, Trump and Biden, stood behind him off to one side and said, have at it, man. Kind of a freaky deal. You got anything you want to talk about between the sheets? There's got to be something there.
I was about to say.
All right, what do you got?
Sweets, member for 8 months. She's an extra. Sweets also says, so is Fauci a part of the World Health Organization? Or the WHO?
Well, he's not. He wasn't a member of it that I'm aware of. But he was there. He did go to those meetings with representation. If he didn't go, his guys went. I know that because he had input into what they were saying and doing at the time. He was the number one guy in America. He was our guy.
Jennifer Whitehead, member for 7 months, Legion of X. She said, hello, handsome general. Glad to see you back.
Thank you very much, sweetheart.
Kaiser Wilhelm II, welcome back, General, with $20.
I saw that, and I even addressed him personally in the opening credits.
In the opening credits?
Wouldn't you call it the opening credits when the music's playing in the comments?
What credits? Who are we crediting?
The comment section. And Kaiser, I said, yo, my man, thank you.
It's not credits during the intro, you know.
I did that during the intro.
Okay, well, it's not the credits.
Read the sheets.
All right. James Balin, which is more messed up, the world or Washington, D.C.?
Who said that?
James Balin.
James Baylor. Who is more messed up, the world or Washington, D.C.? I think Washington, D.C. And the more the more messed up Washington is, the more messed up my country becomes. I think it ripples out to the rest of the world. I think we can either make the world strong or we can ruin it. I think, unfortunately, our country is so powerful that we have that effect. And I wish it wasn't that way, but it is.
Joe Dermott, member for 2 months. Gen X Talks, has anyone come up with the 2022 total death count from all causes? The old averages were about 275,000 to 315,000. The number should have risen sharply if the pandemic was real.
You got to quit bouncing in your chair. It's like
what?
Sitting going like this, and
I'm hanging out.
Yeah, stop. Don't hang out. Be professional. Sit up in your goddamn chair. I'm going to put you in a chair you can't move and get you an old iron chair from the 40s, and you can just sit in it.
Oh, man.
It was funny you ask about that. What were the final? Who knows? I won't go off on a tangent on this, but I looked that up one time. I went down a rabbit hole trying to find some answers in the public service agency side of things. And what was one thing that was weird, I noticed that in 2020, all the deaths in that area, not cancer, not motorcycle, car accident stuff, was all COVID. Nobody died of the flu. People die of the flu every year. Not that year. Every death was related to COVID. Every one of them that was in that genre of virus, it was always COVID related. Then none of the other ones even got listed. And the reason why, and I talked on this before because I know people that work at top levels in some hospitals back on the East Coast and here, and they were told in the very beginning, and rightly so, to expose them on this, not my friends, but the government, is if your hospital's going to lose money, we're going to reimburse you. Anything that happens COVID related, we're going to give you guys money to help you guys stay afloat as a hospital. The hospitals and these conglomerates, in turn, told everyone working at the hospitals, if they have COVID, it's a COVID-related death. And let me tell you real quick. A friend of mine says there was a person, and it's the reason I brought up motorcycle accident. A person was brought in alive, barely, motorcycle accident, trying to fix the person, trying to help the person, trying to bring the person along, get them to, and they tested them. They had COVID. But they were in a motorcycle accident. They ended up dying. The person ended up passing away. doctor listed cause of death COVID. Because the government doesn't give you money if you for a motorcycle accident, but they do for COVID. And I said, that cannot be true. And 2 different hospitals that I know people, 2 different places over the course of a year kept giving me these one-liners of information.
That's very odd.
And they kept, because it was money. They're going to get money. Of course it happened. So when you tell me, when people, I used to get into arguments and people say, oh, COVID's bad. It's yeah, COVID's bad. There's some bad stuff about COVID. Not the worst thing that ever happened, but not nearly as bad as ever. No, these COVID's that. And I try to show them these numbers are wrong. These numbers are inflated. Hospitals wrote it down. They wrote down COVID. This is right here. COVID. Hospital emergency room. COVID. Yeah. But once we understood why, it ranges somewhere about 30 to 40% of those deaths. People did have COVID, but it wasn't what killed them. In some cases, it wasn't even a contributing factor. Just letting you know, that's some inside stuff I know, because old people like me in their 50s and 60s are in positions in hospitals where they knew some stuff, and they told me. We talked about that before. Yeah.
Virginia, Galicia.
Yeah.
You are so full of crap. I loved this channel. It really shows how ignorant and uneducated you really are. How'd she guess that you don't have a high school diploma?
Well, I don't think anybody knew that till you told them.
Well, she just guessed that you're uneducated.
Read what she said again. Who was she?
Virginia, Galicia.
Yeah,
whatever. You are so full of crap. I loved this channel. It really shows how ignorant and uneducated you really are.
Oh, you know, I know who she is.
Oh, who?
Yeah, she's Fauci's granddaughter. That's why she's pissed.
Oh,
yeah, that's a little personal thing. I just called her grandpa a liar, which everybody knows he is. I'd love to know if she was clever, she would have said, "You're full of shit about this. You're wrong about this something specific." You notice she didn't do that.
No, you're just full of crap in general.
So, you know what the appropriate response to a person who's completely in line with reality, which she is. Read her statement again. I have crafted a perfect response. Go ahead.
You're so full of crap. I loved this channel. It really shows how ignorant and uneducated you really are.
Nuh-uh.
You took that from me. I say that. You took it from me.
Why can't I say that? She didn't say something specific. She didn't say this is right. I could just my response could be, no, I'm not. You're wrong. Wow, and the debate continues. You're full of shit. No, I'm not.
That was so funny because, like, as I'm reading, like, I was thinking in my head,
Well, because it's just the way you say. You know, that's like saying you're dumb. No, I'm not. You're dumb. Wow, what an intellectual.
Wow.
I tell you, I used to love this channel, but now you're full of crap. How am I full of crap? I don't know.
You should have done like that video I sent you the other day about the Biden technique. Like whenever you're in a debate with somebody, you just act like you can't get into your own head, because if you can't get into your own head, they can't get into yours. So you just act like
I should have gone full of crap. I don't even.
Where'd
I can't
you get
process
this?
what you're saying.
Where'd you what crap?
Crap.
Where you
used to love this channel. I'm not even comprehending.
I'm on a channel.
A channel? What do you mean? That's a good idea. Have the Biden approach, which is basically a long version of what?
You give him the 1,000-yard stare. You're like,
just blink. Go.
Like, wow.
Okay.
You're like, anyways.
It's got to be one of my favorite points on this show. Not usually not the world show. Usually the bottom of the glass show is when people say stuff like that, and you have to try to come up with an argument of something so vague. You're terrible. No, I'm not. Let me give you my 37 reasons on why I'm not terrible.
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But then neither did she. What else you got in there?
Yeah,
Anything
Chris
else?
Kaler. I'm a firefighter. We had a vehicle accident with a head decapitation that was listed as COVID to get money.
Well, if he hadn't had COVID, he wouldn't have lost his head.
Yeah, man.
You see, you think that I'm full of shit. You think that I'm full of crap. There is just millions of people that have personal information from stuff they were standing right there witnessing. You saw it. You can't deny it.
Say anecdotes.
I say the word anecdotes?
Yeah, like personal anecdotes.
Personal anecdotes.
No, anecdotes.
I said that.
No, you said... I'm not going to repeat what you said. No, I'm not going to repeat what you said.
Good.
Anecdotes.
Look, if people can say axe instead of ask.
I say ask.
No, people say axe instead of ask. I can say Anecdote.
That's not what you said the first time.
What'd I say?
You said,
I don't even know how to say it wrong.
No.
I can't say it wrong.
my mom's watching. I'm not allowed to repeat what you said. You said
All right. what's
anecdote.
next? That's what I said.
No, you didn't. Arbot. Member for 17 months. Drinking time for me, 19:03 p.m., which is 7:03 p.m.
Oh, well, thank you for clearing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bill Nye the Science
For all
Guy.
you civilians out there.
Oh, yeah, because you're so steeped in military tradition. That's great.
Welcome back, handsome. Have a drink later on from Insurmountable Cali Cat. $20.
I love Cali Cat.
Do
I
you?
miss her.
Do
I
you?
do. I miss her a bunch.
Chris. Oh,
Go ahead. No.
no. Yeah.
I was gonna try to tell you. So the shut up. So I'm bringing the whole thing around to you. It's like now you know who Fauci is,
Yeah.
and it's weird that a medical person in a scary situation can be in charge of everything. That's the weird part you got to think about. And
It's an odd way for someone to for a political party to put someone in a rule, because now that they have that new way, they could definitely abuse it, because politicians.
And
abuse everything.
here's
Yeah.
the part that I think about as the old guy. Okay.
The old guy.
So now the next pandemic comes along, the next doctor who they put up there, and the president goes, okay, I want you to go out there and say A, B, and C. So the medical guy goes out there and says A, B, and C. Then the president pushes him aside and goes, did you hear? This is a medical guy with medical opinions giving us medical directions, A, B, and C. I don't want to do it either, but I think we all should. Now they know. Now we've had a trial run. Now the next guy just has, and it can be Republican or Democrat. They just got to be able to get a doctor. They can go, here's what you're going to say, and I'll back you up. A president can literally walk out there after the medical guy has got done speaking word for word what he was told to say, and go, I can't believe what I've just heard. I'm scared. But the medicine, the medical, they're right. Let's just do it. That's what bothers me.
I think it's. I think one thing they need to teach at schools, to everybody, is that history repeats itself every single time. And there's so many instances of it, and this is where you'd usually say, "Well, tell me an instance," because you always like to pin me down in conversation. It's not fun.
Why are you whispering? Talk normal.
Sorry, dude. I just didn't want to announce that to the world.
Now, don't yell, because I've been told recently that you haven't done that, and it's not. It's just relax, man. You can be strong.
I'm just a very animated person, you know.
Right? You're not though. You're sitting here with your. I'm trying to get you to be a little more
All
animated.
right. Well,
history repeats itself.
yeah. Great example: World War I, World War II. World War I, Germany tries to take over the world. They stop him. World War II, Germany tries to take over the world. Whoa, why'd they do that? And obviously, I'm dumbing it down a lot. They use the same kind of strategies, and they try to make similar alliances with Russia and all that. So it's something that people need to realize a lot, because now that Fauci has done this once, they're going to try to replicate it again.
There is a lot of truth to history repeating itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you get away with it.
Yes.
And I think right now they got away with it with Fauci, and we all kind of, everybody looks back now and goes, okay, that dude was mostly full of shit. Everybody knows that the COVID came from the lab in Wuhan and China. We all know. You common sense your way through this. You skip over the bullshit that millennials talk. Okay, we all know. We got it. There's just some stuff you just figure out, and you're like, all right, now that we look back, we get it. But the fact that he pulled this off and had so much power, it's gone now. We've kicked him out. He's like, okay, we're not listening to you anymore. If I could come on TV tomorrow and half of the country go, fuck off, we don't care. Nobody'd listen. But the next guy, I'm telling you, that's one thing that I'm worried about happening is, look at what happened with COVID. Biden never had to debate anybody for any reason. He had to do anything. What did he come out of his cave 3 times during the whole election process? Always under the heading of safety. Because I don't think he could have won a debate. And I'm certain he can't win a debate now. I don't think Biden could win a presidential debate in his own party, let alone going up against someone like Trump or DeSantis. He couldn't do it. So how are they going to keep him from everybody? You're going to have 4 debates, and the first one say he's sick, second one he missed the bus, third one he's out of town. How many excuses can you have before you look like you're running and hiding? So I'm worried about another pandemic. I'm worried that they would do that again, and this time with a better doctor with more credentials that would listen to what they were telling him. I know it's a conspiracy theory. It's just me floating stuff. There's no facts to any of this, but I'm worried about it.
We got a room for that in Discord.
We do?
Yeah. Discord.gg/GenX
Yes, one of the chat rooms that Gen X Talks has adult chat rooms for big conversations. One of them is about conspiracies, yeah. Mm-hmm. What else in your sheets over there, kid?
Well, you know what we used to do a long time ago? Well, mostly you. You used to do national days every stream.
Oh, yeah, we did that. We'd figure out what national day it was, and we talk about
Would you like to know the national day today?
I would love to know what because this affects the whole planet.
Yes. It's not international.
Oh, it's not International Day. Okay, never mind. Rest of the world, you're out. You can't participate.
Look on to America as we have
to our confusion as we decide.
Yes.
National Day. So October 2nd is what national day?
We have National Name Your Car Day.
What?
Name Your Car Day.
No, I know that. I've been naming cars my whole life.
Yeah, but now the day is Name Your Car.
My motorcycle is named. You don't even know the name of my motorcycle? Sexy.
That's a stupid name for a motorcycle.
No, have you seen my bike? It most certainly is not. That bike is sexy. My big red truck is
Elvira.
Chris
Paul.
It's not Chris Paul.
It's Chris Paul.
That was a stupid name.
That's funny. It's Chris Paul.
It's not. That's because of this.
That truck's never going to get a ring.
You're just not listening. But yeah, people, why would there be a national day? Americans, does that happen in the rest of the world too? Do you guys name your vehicles?
Or do you guys have like random national days?
Well, I want to know about this day. Is this a thing where it's like in Europe? If you have a really cool car or motor, do you name it if it's like really personal? A lot of Americans name cars. That's not.
I agree. That's why we
don't
have
need a national day for it. We do it every day.
You want to know the other ones?
Let's see. If you have a national buy your secretary flowers, you don't do it every day. You buy your secretary flowers on that day, but you don't name your car one day out of the year.
Actually, I shouldn't talk. The next ones are pretty weird.
All right, go. What are the next ones?
You have National Custodial Workers Recognition Day. So,
what?
Janitor's Day.
Janitor's Day. Grab a mop day. Anybody with a mop in their hand?
No. You have to recognize.
Oh, recognize them. Would that be Mom?
She's me. I do so much custodial work around this place.
All right. I formally recognize you. Good job on your National Custodial Grab a Mop and a Broom Day.
National Child Health Day.
Child Health Day. Wait. What does that mean?
I don't know. The picture is of a kid getting getting checked out by a doctor. So.
Oh, so it's National Make Sure Your Kid's Healthy Day.
Yeah.
All right. I got that.
I'm okay.
Because you only got to do it once a year. Today.
Yeah. Right. Then National Produce Misting Day.
National Produce.
Like grocery stores where they have the misters.
Okay, I'm starting to see why this is only an American holiday. Because this is some of the dumbest stuff ever. No other Britain right now and France and Germany and Ireland, they're laughing. They're going, what's wrong with you people?
It's pretty odd. I don't understand why.
Are all of these things you're reading sponsored by Hallmark? Because it sounds like they want you to go buy a card.
I had to check. No. You were close. You were close.
Okay, National Produce Misting Day.
Yeah.
So once a year, they mist their produce. I'm going to say that's ineffective.
Well, we
saluting?
What is the point of a national day?
I don't know. Well, like you said,
is it to recognize?
If you're recognizing janitors, they're janitors all year long, but one day we recognize them. I get that. Like Secretary's Day. A secretary all year long, but you recognize them on that day. But how do you recognize a produce mister?
Okay, how easy is it to get
Am I supposed to walk into the grocery store, go to the produce section, and when the misters come on, sit there? Good job, guys.
Because if it's really easy, if it's really easy to get a national day, why don't we make January 28th Gen X Talks Day?
Well, I think it has to be important to the whole country.
It is. We have fans all over the country.
Everybody likes their produce misted. See?
I mean, I prefer it soaked, but...
Well, that's through the process of misting, just over-misting.
Over-misting?
Over-misting is soaking. Wow. You like your melons wet. You're weird. Your whole generation's freaking weird.
Wait, I'm just making jokes, man. That's all I got for the national days. There's no more national days that are funny.
Thank God. Because that's just, whatever happened to just one day? It's like once it got named, we're like, okay, it's National something such day. That's it. There's no runner-ups. You don't have alternatives.
I don't know. Tomorrow's fruit at work day. Fruit at work.
Food or fruit?
Fruit.
Fruit.
Fruit at work.
You say that so weird.
Fruit.
Tomorrow's National Fruit Day.
Also, why do they spell fruit like that? Fruit should be spelled F-R-O-O-T. Fruit. Why do they spell it F-R-U-I-T?
Like root, but with an F?
Yes, fruit. Because, like, it's the fruit of, it's like same part of the, you know.
We're very complicated in America.
Yeah, like tough.
We're very complicated.
Like tough through, like they all end O-U-G-H.
Well,
cough.
like Gallagher, I don't know, you guys, you don't know who Gallagher is. But a lot of people remember Gallagher is smashing watermelons. He had a routine. He goes, B-O-M-B, bomb. T-O-M-B, tomb? No, tomb. T-O-M-B, tomb.
Yeah.
C-O-M-B, comb? No, it's comb. He had a whole thing on that and how his English language is very complicated.
I didn't realize how complicated the English language was until my friend Diego, who had to learn English, started explaining it to me. He's like, yeah, when it was tough through cough, I was like, I can see how that's tough. Yeah. I can see how that's difficult.
Okay, look, I think we should change that from we don't want to say the English language is complicated. That makes it sound like we don't know what we're doing.
Exclusive.
Or sophisticated.
It's not very
The English language is very sophisticated. You know, I wouldn't expect you to comprehend it. I wouldn't really expect you to understand. And well, that's why people in Kentucky still have trouble with the English language. Not very sophisticated. I would say Tennessee, but Mrs. Fort Watton would grab me by the throat and rip it out. So,
Is she good at English?
well, is she good at English?
Yeah.
Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Is she good at English?
I'm not good at English.
Yeah, apparently not, or grammar for that matter. Yeah, I think Mrs. Fort Watton speaks very well. Yeah, she does.
In what language?
Well, now see, if you say English, we speak English well. All of London and the surrounding counties are screaming, that's not English.
Yeah.
We speak English. You're speaking American. That's what
Yeah,
they
because
say.
it's like that's why when you type on your keyboard, it says English US or English UK. Like when you set up your keyboard, like
Really?
yeah, when you say like select layout and stuff of your keyboard, it's also for autocorrect.
There's English UK?
Yeah.
How?
Because they say things differently in autocorrect. Like a great one is miter saw. We say M-I-T-E-R. They say M-I-T-R-E.
I say it R-E. I write it R-E every time.
Well, it's because you're half British.
But isn't that accepted? Can't you say it both ways?
Well, yeah,
Can't
you can say it both ways here, but there they say Mitri. Like they don't say it.
They don't
like
say
that.
Mitri.
No, they don't say They don't say Mitri, but they type Mitri. Anyways,
Whatever.
So, like, what I'm trying to get at is
what are you getting at?
Funny story. My friend's Chromebook. He was about to write an essay, and he went to the bathroom. So I go to his computer and I change his keyboard layout to the English UK.
You did not.
So that it tried to autocorrect a ton of things to the wrong thing. It's like, why is it autocorrecting to this right here? That's not what does that even mean?
What if that dude had like 1 hour to write his essay? What if he was under a time thing and you did that?
That's pretty
to him?
funny. He didn't figure it out for like a week.
Wow.
I had to tell him. I was like, I think your keyboard layout's messed up.
Oh yeah, how would you know that? He was a random thought like that. Well,
I hope he doesn't see this because I haven't told him to this day.
Everybody gets mad when I do that stuff about the English and the language and you speak American, you don't speak English. And when you're getting into an argument with them and they get all heated, I always find a way to end the argument with people from Britain. I go, hey, don't be salty because you lost. Don't start yelling at me. I wasn't there. I didn't do it. So yeah.
Hey man, tea's always better in the ocean.
Did you just say tea's always better in the ocean?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, the acorn did not fall far from the tree.
Yeah, I was at the fair the other day, and I bought a.
Hey, I was at the fair the other day. Yeah, well, I was walking out front by the mailboxes. Any more random thoughts?
Segues are weird, okay?
Yeah.
Anyways, so I bought a shirt that said, it was in quotes. It was quotes said Fort Sumter, this bitch.
Yeah, you showed that to me. I didn't quite get that.
It was by it said Abraham Lincoln. Pardon my Australian there.
Fort Sumter.
Or do I
Fort
say
Sumter,
French?
this bitch.
Yeah, it said Fort Sumter this because Abe Lincoln
because they tried to attack, but they couldn't win, and the Fort Sumter, the flag still stayed, and
then,
I get it, but that's
they
like
bombed Fort Sumter. They're like,
I
oh
know,
yeah, bomb this.
I got it, but it just it There's so many other things you could say other than that.
Yeah, I know. But,
That was a really odd thing to find at the fair.
but it's pretty cool. It's funny.
Yeah, and this is odd. Really odd.
It is. I mean, it's pretty.
All right, what else you got between the sheets?
What
Let's
else
carry
do I-
on.
I just gotta reach in there. Hold on. Jan Motz, member for 2 months. The thing that gets me is how Americans produce aluminum. We pronounce, not produce. Sorry.
You said produce aluminum. Like, yeah, so.
I know, that's what I was
That
thinking.
is really
also,
weird how
okay.
we produce aluminum.
Pronounce aluminum.
Yeah.
We pronounce it differently here in the UK. Yeah, they say aluminium.
What?
Aluminium. That's how they say it.
Okay, well, you're saying it wrong, so fix that.
I
Next.
don't understand how you can say that. In England, do they? Oh,
Right.
okay. In England, do they have cookie files or biscuit files?
Oh, for your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
like,
we have cookies.
I
That's-
love going to a website because I get free cookies.
You're such an idiot. That's a good point because they call them biscuits over there. Our websites collect cookies. You get that little pop up.
Yeah.
Do you accept all the cookies?
I love cookies.
But what if it was biscuits?
It's not the
In
same.
England, do they accept biscuits? That's a great point. Never thought about that.
American biscuits are mid unless they're done well.
What word did you just use there?
Mid.
Mid?
Yeah, like middle of the road. Like not super good, not super bad.
Mid. That's an adjective now. Mid.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Mid. I'd say it needed to be made a long time ago.
Okay. All right. What else?
Grateful Ed, member for 2 months. What if something worse than COVID comes along and people don't listen because of the last pandemic?
Yeah, that's been a topic. We've talked about that.
We have.
No, I've talked about that with friends of mine on that. And it's true is that it goes back to a lot of you have no idea what I'm talking about. So please hang up right now and go someplace else. But there was a story called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Do you know that story?
Oh, you told me to leave.
Not you. You said.
My bad. Okay.
Do you know
yeah.
the story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf?
Yeah.
Okay. And it basically says, help, little boy out guarding the sheep, help, a wolf's attacking. And then there's the farmers all run out to help him, but there's no wolf. And he does it again and again and again. Finally, when he really needs someone to come help him because there really is a wolf, no one believes him, no one comes. That's exactly the same thing. He's right. Is that Grateful Ed said that?
Yes.
Yeah. You make this pandemic out to be more than it is. When something serious comes along, the initial reaction of everybody is going to go, yeah, we've heard this before. Yeah, you controlled us. You ruined our lives over nothing. We heard it. Nah, forget it. You're not doing that again. That's part of the bad part of what Fauci did. Yeah.
Jan Motz, member for 2 months. I named my car Eileen, so when it breaks down, I could say, "Come on, Eileen," like the song. Come on, Eileen.
What do you mean? Come on, like he's telling, come on, telling us.
He's like, "Come on,
come on.
Yeah.
Oh, cranking it.
Yeah. Come
Come on, Eileen. Okay.
And then Constitution compliance checker. You guys are effing awesome.
Constitution compliance checker. I believe him over some chick with a weird name who just calls us stupid. Constitution compliance checker carries some weight. You got some weight with his
That's
voice.
a cool job title. I wish I had that job.
Constitution compliance. Yeah. Well, that would be a problem for you. You'd actually have to read the Constitution first.
Hey, man.
You would. Yeah.
Are you a part of the people? Done. You're in.
Oh, now I'm a
Yeah, we the
constitutionalist.
people. We the people.
So
Okay,
we're
if you are a
automatically-
part of the people.
We're automatically all in cahoots now?
I got to make sure you check that box first, okay? That's part of the checklist of the constitutional checker, okay? Gotta make
That's your
sure-
job to walk around. Are you part of the people? Okay, check.
I know, I'm part of the first box.
Then
so-
you pass the paper over to the next guy. You're responsible for the first box. Are you part of the people? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Far out. You do
I'm new.
realize that all that all the stuff we're talking about came in some way was derived from Europe, right?
Yeah.
That when that's where the history comes from is Europe.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of history here.
When was the last time you read a history book?
Why would I have to read a history book? I lived it. I don't have to wait for someone to write it down.
You were there? You were there?
I
when-
was there. Look, I've lived through some history. I don't
Try
gotta-
to get on the Mayflower?
I don't
or
have
like...
I don't have to have somebody write it down in a book so I can read it again. The stuff that I was there for, I was there for.
So when did you immigrate to America?
I didn't immigrate to America. I was born here. What are you talking?
okay.
What the hell are you talking
You
about?
said that you were there.
I am technically an indigenous person to this. I was born here.
Yeah, me too. I'm an American.
So what are you bitching about? What are you talking about? I was talking to
I'm saying that you haven't read a history book in forever. And then you
used to
said,
read-
I lived it. Well, what'd you live?
Okay, I didn't live all history. There's some books I read because I wasn't there. There's stuff in Europe that happened a long time ago. I'm saying,
So you read history books up until 1967. You read that history.
yeah, and then I quit reading in I quit reading in 1973 when I could read, and then I don't have to read anymore. I can just, I just lived it. I just lived it.
You
Right.
just got like the quick version, you know?
Yeah, I just get this. I got the cliff
they
notes
have
for what's going on.
pictures?
And pictures, and I'm good.
It's just a...
You're missing the point. What I'm trying to tell you is that
What
when
is
they
the point?
I'm trying to tell you the fucking point. When they started the Constitution, when they started writing that shit down, the only point of reference they had was everything that was going on in the history of England and France and European history. Then they took and said, we're going to take out the stupid shit, keep the good stuff, add a little mix of our own in there. That's how we got to the Constitution. Mr. Constitutionalist, check the box, we the people. That's where I was trying to go. You derailed my whole conversation, man.
Trying to get to the freaking point.
You have to.
Trying to get to the freaking point.
You're mocking me, aren't you? You have to understand that Europe is deep
Yeah.
in history on how shit works and doesn't work. They tried a bunch of stuff.
In the grand scheme of like the world governments,
Yeah.
America is young,
Oh yeah.
super young.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know.
Well, so now we both agree the show's over.
Yeah, done.
We got to a
Thank
point where
God.
we're agreeing.
Nice. Thank you.
America's
Thank you.
young, so we're good. Now, good night,
Now
everybody.
that
America's
we've
young.
gotten to a point.
What I was trying to point out was about the war. Go ahead, read your
Okay.
sheets.
Chris Stockram, $5. Glad you're back and glad things are going in a good direction. We were just worried about y'all.
There, Chris. Things are going really well. I will tell you this. Bring it full circle. When you solve a problem in any relationship, everybody's good for a few days, right? Then you find out if the person's back to their old self, doing theirs. I'll know in a week. I will know by Saturday if everybody on board is doing their job. I'll know in a week if everybody's commitments, myself included, everybody's apologies, mine included, if everybody's handshakes and words and written agreements on moving forward, if they're going to stick, I'll know. And you guys know what I'm talking about. How many times you had an issue with a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, kids, and they're, oh, no, I'll be good, I'll behave, I'll be better. And it's you good for a little while, and then it fades away. I'll know pretty quick if things are fading away. All right, back to the kid. What do you got?
Oh, what do I got?
Yeah, sheets, anything?
Oh, wait, after that point you just made?
Yes.
America's young.
Yeah, America's young.
Yeah. Mrs. T, member for 10 months. I took 2 weeks of my own. Sometimes it is a must. I completely understand where that's coming from. Nothing wrong with it.
There you go. And if Mrs. T has spoken, we can all move on.
Kaiser Wilhelm II, put a $20 toward the whiskey fund.
Ah, my man, not forgetting the whiskey fund.
Mrs. 4 gifted a Gen X Talks membership to Takasama.
Takasama, you can now take a peek behind the curtain. Anybody who is a member, anybody whose name is in green, you can now go to the YouTube community section and see almost 3 years of behind-the-scenes stuff that is not available to the public. You have to be a member, and it all pops up. You can see everything. Good stuff in there. And if you're a KGXT member, you can see the studio camera that's on 24/7 right behind me. It goes all over. You can see the whole thing all the time when we're in here working.
You know Taz?
I know Taz, yeah.
Yeah, he's watching it right now.
Taz, hey, direct message me, buddy. We got to have a phone call.
Yeah, he's been watching the World Show from the back seat. So,
Oh, is that the back seat? Anybody who's in there's in the back seat. Taz in the back seat watching the show from behind us.
Yeah, I
That's
guess.
clever. I like that.
You're welcome, America.
That's good. In Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Diane, black member for 14 months. Been alive for 61 years today. Hauling through space on this pale blue dot has been a trip. Love you, fam.
That's Diane Black. She's been around 60. I didn't think she was old.
Is it her birthday or is it like
That's what she said today.
happy birthday?
Happy birthday, Diane. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So
Isn't that
we're
interesting?
wrapping up the show.
Mrs. Forwadden, 10 gifted memberships.
Oh,
to-
my God.
Okay, here we go. I'm about to
Here we
through
go.
this. One breath.
Do it.
Amanda Libby, Jason Mitchell, Jason Smith, John Mason, Thomas. Oh my lord! Oh man,
You are worthless at this job.
Neil Bender, Dean Guerrero, Generation X-Ray Vision,
I'm calling someone to get it.
PM3, Jeff B.
We need another person in here.
Look, you try and read that name.
I can read the names.
There you go.
No, I'm a trained professional.
It's okay. It's BIALEN.
I'm not going to have you go through all this. You're going to finish out the show reading letter by letter names. That's the way you want to.
No, I just want you to do that one.
Nice try. All right.
Oh, you're scared. You're scared. Yeah, you don't want to do it. You're scared of that name.
This is the look of fear. Do you see it? It's terrible.
You're great at hiding it.
So, listen, I didn't go through the usual rigmarole of joining Patreon. Patreon is where you pay $1, but we send you an email letting you know what platform we're going to be on, where we're going to be, what we're going to be talking about. Today's episode, today's live stream, today's show wasn't a really hard-hitting thing. We had a bunch of stuff. We could have talked about, the government shutdown. We could have talked about the idiot who pulled the fire alarm to stall the Congress.
Fire alarm?
Yeah, there's real quick for you. And the government was going to go into lockdown because they couldn't agree on a spending bill. Mm-hmm. Democrats want to spend more money than we have. Yeah. Republicans want to cut some spending, stick within your budget, pull some stuff down. They want to take the money for Ukraine out of the budget. Democrats said, no, we're paying for everything. And now they're head to head. When a time limit comes, if you haven't voted on it, people stop getting paid. Social Security checks will not go out. There's things that will not get paid because you haven't funded the government. So the Democrats love that. All they have to do is go, we want to cram all this bullshit money in there we can. And if the Republicans don't like it and they let the government shut down, we'll blame them for harming children and harming old people and not caring. The truth is they care very much. They just don't want you to overspend. But that's the play. So when it comes close to the deadline, you got to get the cameras off. There's only so many times that the camera's rolling in Congress and reporters taking notes and people say, you're fucking this up with all of these extra money you don't need. This one goes to your cousin. This one goes to your brother's law firm. This one goes to your second generation's grandsons. They expose the Democrats for all the shit they're doing. So the trick is, quit talking about it. Let's just get to the deadline where you look bad, where the Republicans look bad. So the Democrats, they delay. We need a recess. We need a delay. Not everybody showed up today. We got to go to the bathroom. I mean, literally, when you're on your last 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days, every minute counts because every minute you're discussing it, Democrats look bad, Republicans look good. So the Democrats try to minimize that as much as they possibly can. And when it gets really close and they say, we'd like a delay, they're like, we only got 2 hours left. We got 5 hours left. We got 9 hours left, whatever it is. Every time you ask, well, let's we take a recess. No, let's finish talking. Let's solve this. And out of desperation to drag things out, what was that guy's name? Jamal Bowman from New York. He pulled a fire alarm in Congress. So everybody had to leave. That's a good way to stall. Takes up time.
High school?
What's that?
People pull the fire alarm in my high school all the time.
Yeah.
This is just like high school. People just pull the fire alarm.
Well, this isn't high school. This is Congress. And the guy pulled it and goes, it looked like a door release to me. Looked like an automatic. I think I got the picture in here. Let me see if I did. I might have had that up here.
Automatic door release.
Yeah, the guy was.
This guy.
Yeah, this is the one right here.
He's a mastermind.
There it is. That's the picture of the guy doing it with the New York Post put up a picture of the fire alarm. Says, does this look like a door handle? This was the picture they put up. This is the guy doing it. They had it on security camera. He fucking pulled it. And then he comes back and he goes, well, now hold on. I thought I thought this normally open door, it was locked. So that looked like the automatic. I didn't know what I was doing. Funny you brought up high school. This guy was a high school principal for years.
Oh, wow.
I'm quite sure he knew what a fire...
he knows. He knows what's up.
Kids know. Everybody knew. And then AOC, she comes out there. Cortez comes out. This is her famous line. It's so funny when she said this. She's trying to defend this guy. There, I think I had a picture of her too. If
I was in the same political party as him, I would not defend him.
She came out there to defend this guy. I didn't put her picture up there. I don't got it. She came out there. There's no lie. And she goes... In his moment of panic, being at the locked door that was normally unlocked, in his moment of panic, he grabbed the fire alarm. And not one person stopped and said, if we have a congressman who panics over a locked door and pulls a fire alarm, that motherfucker needs to be out of Congress.
No way.
Okay, there's no way you can have a dude who his moment of panic.
The door's
Okay,
locked.
then
Door's locked. Let me out. Let me out.
no, he was trying to go in. He was trying to get in to vote.
Oh.
He wasn't even trying to escape something bad. He was like, I gotta get in there. What's going on? Boom. And he's just out there pulling levers in a panic to vote.
It was like one of those doors with like 7 locks on it. He's like, this has got to be it right here.
Can you imagine that's the guy you have representing you in Congress for your district from the state of New York is a guy who panics over a locked door
I can't
and
vote.
pulls a fire
How
alarm.
am I going to represent my people? No.
God damn it, I will be heard. Ping. So that was my
You
take.
guys will not start without me. You will not start without me.
I'm telling you, there's no way you can decorate this to make it look good. You can't. There's a moronic thing to do, and AOC and every person that comes out and talks about it is like you're just as dumb.
Can we put a fire alarm handle in the studio?
We got to name it after him.
We got to buy it.
Go pull the Bowman. I think that was Jamal Bowman. Was that his name? Jamal Bowman, I think it was. You got to go pull the Bowman lever. It's all for time. Right in the middle of the
He
program.
really took one for the team, though. Like,
That's right. If your show's not going good, Sean Hannity should do that. Middle of one of his programs or something. If it's not going well, pull the Bowman. We all go outside and take a break and start over.
I think, Democrats need to congratulate that guy. He took one for the team. That's a heavy hit. That guy is like 40% chance of not getting reelected. That's horrible.
He did take one for that. That's a good way to look at it.
It's
He's
a
like,
huge one for the
what
team.
I do for my political party because I'm going to be made fun of for years.
Yeah.
He did take one for the team.
He did.
Good for you, man. And maybe he'll get reelected just on that.
Yeah, that guy, he's a team player for real. But
All right.
there's no way you can play it off at all.
No, you stand there when the alarm goes off and the Capitol Police come running around the corner and the Capitol Police come at you and go, what'd you do? You still got your hand up. What? I don't know what I did. What? Did this call you? Is that what this is? Because you're right. There's no way to spin that to make you not look like a moron.
Make sure it worked.
Conducting a test here is above your pay grade.
So one thing I wanted to talk to you about was like the border. Do we have time to talk about one more thing?
We're 4 minutes over, but go ahead.
Oh God, don't want to go over time.
Okay, go ahead. Ask what?
So the borders of Washington D.C.
Yeah.
and the fact that they want to be a state is a
Yeah.
huge thing. Huge thing because they
want to make yes,
because it automatically give 2 Democratic senators.
for sure. Yeah, the
100%.
2 senators. Yeah, they would both be Democrats. Absolutely.
Yeah, and wouldn't even be the least populated state because I think it's
No, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. My thing.
It doesn't matter. You get every state, regardless of population, gets 2 senators, no matter what. So
Okay, well,
you're right on that.
yeah. Well, when Washington D.C. was first made, it took land out of it was Maryland.
Maryland and Virginia, I think, or something. Yeah,
I think so. It was
From a state,
Yeah,
it
it
did.
took from 2 states. It took land from 2 states
Okay.
to give like a little box.
Right.
Well, it gave. That's why it has that weird shape now because it gave one of the states land back. Right.
Okay.
Because now it just has Capitol Hill. Well, they want to be a state. They should give the land back to Maryland. Because that's what it's taking up right now. Mostly, I believe
Okay.
it's just Maryland or one of the states.
One of the states.
I think they should give back the land to Maryland if they wanted to become a state. Because now
Well,
it's
that
not
wouldn't make them a state then.
exactly. Because now you're not taking the land for a federal use. You're taking it for another state's use. It's not their
First of all, Washington D.C. What's D.C. stand for?
District of Columbia.
Okay, so it's a district.
Yes.
It is not a state.
Yes.
What they're arguing and how they're trying to go about this is because people it's not just Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
They didn't shrink it to just office buildings. No, people live there.
Yeah, I know.
People reside in the district.
It's like 600,000.
So what they're saying is if people are going to live in the district, they're going to be governed by the laws of the United States. They're going to be governed by the laws that the government passed. They should have a voice.
Yeah.
They should have congressmen. They should have senators. They should have a voice. That's where they're going with the argument. You can't give back enough property unless you make it to where nobody lives in DC. They just work. You can make all the buildings that are businesses DC, District of Columbia, and all the residents have to go back to one of the states. That's one way to do it, but that doesn't accomplish the goal that the Democrats want of having 2 more senators.
Yeah, but doesn't that say? Don't they right now have like the same political like thing as Puerto Rico? Like they have people that go to Congress but can't vote.
Similarly, yes, they have
Yeah.
people that sit on boards, and yes, they do. There's advocates for, but if you don't have a vote, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can't just be on a board. You can't be on a
Yeah.
committee, and you can't be a non-voting. You know, it doesn't matter. All you can do is vote with your wallet and say, you know, we produce this. If like a lobbyist.
Yeah.
If you want DC people to be behind you, you're going to go this way. If you want Puerto Rico to be behind you, you got to go this way. That's all they can do.
Well, it's like my whole thing right there was my biggest point is that if they wanted to become a state, they can't take land away from Maryland because
I'm
Maryland
not taking away from anybody. It's already done.
No. They are because Maryland gave it to the federal government. Like they're lending it. Like here's for Washington D.C. Here's our
Lending
land.
it.
They're
I think it's already done. This is a done deal. They're not going to say, all right, we're taking
that's
more
how-
land and becoming this. They're just saying what we are now, we're going to become.
But that's how Virginia got their land back, was saying you don't need it anymore. You're not using it for the federal government, and they got it back. That was like their whole thing.
So what if they said we're going to have 2 senators? Now they are using it for federal government. Give us the land back.
Well, no. They're using it for their state. That's their state senators. That's state land for state use.
I think your argument is a little bit weak. I don't think that would be.
Well, it's because I haven't brushed up on it in a while.
Well, brush up on it. I'll talk to you about it next time. But I understand what you're saying.
I gotta come back to another world show.
You're here until I'm chaining you to that desk until I give you your
Can I at
release.
least go to my area?
And I can't see unless we put up a mirror. We can see each other.
This computer is like, oh, I got an ad. This computer's like a little.
What?
This little.
You making fun of mom's computer?
Yes,
Wow.
I will because
You
it
are a
reminds me
horrible
of the
individual.
computer labs in elementary school.
Oh, now mom's got an elementary school computer. All right. Say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
important. You got to sign off and say goodbye.
All right, bye guys. Got to go pull the Bowman.
Gotta go pull the Bowman. And he's out. All right. Listen, thank you for tagging along. I know this was a nice, soft landing getting back into the world show. Wasn't as hard hitting, but we had some pieces to move around the board. One of them was Gen X mom, my wife, needed to be. If any of you have been on studio camera at all this morning, she'd been running around in her tank top with no bra all morning. Pretty brave. Now she's in the office doing her thing, passing along to the sheets, made the kid sit here and go through his stuff, which did work out well. Like I said, soft landing. It was a good way to get back into it. I hope you guys understood my explanation this morning. There'll be more to come tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we have a Bottom of the Glass show on YouTube, 6 o'clock. It's one where we drink, we tell stories, we tell lies, and we have a lot of fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being part of everything today. Really appreciate the comeback and all the nice. Everybody's been sending me emails. Everybody's been sending me messages. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the nice comments in the section here too. A lot of them I didn't read, but I guarantee that staff copied and pasted it for me, so my wife did. I'll get to them and I'll respond to each of you as soon as I can. Thank you guys once again for showing up. You didn't have to, but you did. I'm not sure where you're tuning in from around the planet. AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember, wherever you go, there you are. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.